Alright, so welcome to part 2 of 9 almost 10 years of Cape Epic with Livvwelltherapy. Yes, I almost made it to 10 years of Cape Epic. So before I get into all the fun I had back in the day, I got message in the week of the Epic from a fellow sports massage buddy. So are you not doing the Epic? Me? No. And him, but you always do. And I was like, yes, but, and my reason was exactly why I'm doing this series, so that our little voices can be heard, or maybe just the truth behind facing all sorts of adverse conditions being a small business, mind you, of color, similar as what it entails to ride and race this big race. So disclaimer, this is just my point of view of experience rendering services to the Cape Epic riders for the last 9 years, starting in 2014 and ending in 2024. And our first beautiful town we visited was Robertson. So taking you back to 2014, yeah, this was my first experience being part of this monumental event that happened in the towns of Robertson, Greyton and Elgin. When I say we had no clue what we were letting ourselves into, this race were made to break everyone on every level of life, body, mind, soul, financial, emotional, physical. You will be tested. So my viewing, this is the ultimate bucket list thrill for the most brave and daring humans on earth. So for a rookie like myself that had zero experience of what awaits, what it takes to have the courage to start and finish this week of absolute unknown, the survival of the fittest, falling, failing and rising again. Because we can do it. And many never ever returns. But let me start with that year. I got me some clients days before the event. A leap once again from not knowing, zilts, nothing, nada. A bit of research I did on their website. Celia and Flip Hubert, the most kind and caring organizers of the support village back in the day for the mechanics and the massage services, advised me to place an ad on the bike hub. Yeah, this was still the kind and caring, as I said, couple that looked after the support village back in the day. When the Epic was still the Epic. A couple of days before, as I mentioned, I received, I think, either a phone call or a message from potential clients. Gobsmacked, I continued pursuing this opportunity, even though green as grass. Okay, confirmed the only clients I had. The next thing I had to do is then look for space because I couldn't afford to rent a complete plot on my own. So not 100% sure how I connected with someone, but I managed to land a spot sharing with a bigger recovery company. I just had to show up. So this was me with no prior event experience, humble as fuck, no clue, riding the wave as it came. Wow. The way things just transpired from here onwards was nothing but a huge learning curve that will set me up for the years to come. And today, telling you the real story, and the things are never what they seem, but what you choose it to be in your story. So let me take you back to the time when the Epic was still the Epic, not what it is today. We started our first leg in Robertson at the Arabella Wine Estate. So I remember back when you take the journey to the first hosting town, there will be signs that make you excited, signs that just show you the directions to where you need to be going. Yeah, there's a lot of international people that come and really need to be shown where they're going, and this made everything so much easier up until the journey to get to the point where we would set up. So last year and all the previous years were to zero signs. Alright, so the beautiful town of Robertson, the beautiful people of this town decorated, welcoming cyclists and tourists, banners for the event, everyone jolly and happy, obviously because it's a big thing happening. You knew that they were celebrating with you, and the feeling was just there. At times, it brought tears to your eyes, a feeling undescribable. Once again, survival of the fittest, as Robert Menon in stage 2 described. Okay, so this week I only had 1.5 clients, which were Pablo and Lolita. Pablo from Argentina or Brazil for the whole week, and Lolita from South Africa for like 3 days of the week. Hence, I say 1.5 clients. However, the magnitude and the unpredictability of this event inevitably brought more walk-in clients and overflow from the other company that I've shared shelter with. So the first night that we camped, the weather took a turn for the worse, and with our minimal tents and gazebo, even though a tough rainy night, we came out the driest. The company next to us, they even lived in a trailer and they were more wet than we were. This was the worst morning ever. So a cold beer for breakfast was never the best thing ever. So yeah, next stop, Greyton the Great at the Oaks Estate. So who made it to this stage? Survival of the fittest, they say. So the weather cleared up a bit, but it was still a little muddy on the trails. Once again, to find the location for this stage, you will need directions. We had no trouble finding the race village. Just follow the clear designated signs. Wink, wink. And then the people of Greyton welcomed everyone. You've got yes! You could feel the vibe soon as you entered the little historical town. Another indescribable feeling. By the end of this day, you've lost most of your personality. You've gotten this far in the epic and it speaks volumes. Everyone is super exhausted from all the conditions and what unknown still to come. You just want to get through each stage in one piece. And what the riders most look forward to is their massage to get some super feel back into their legs and their lives at the end of the day. Next stage is stage 5, which we traveled from Greyton to Elgin. My favorite was considered to be the hardest in 2024 Cape Epic. The final race village was in Elgin, Oak Valley. I was most excited because this is my hometown and I know all the ins and outs of the area. By this time, I've connected very well with my team. I'm looking after so I could make time to follow their race as well as support them at certain spectator points. What an exhilaration of explosion and fun being part of this race. We visited South Hill Wine Farm and the newly built track at Paul Kluwer Wines. Here we got to experience our team in full action, scream their names and got some pictures. This means the world to riders and me. I didn't have a clue who these amazing human beings are when I met them. I've been privileged to have these powerhouses sent into my life, Pablo and Lolita. They presented Orphan Africa's MTB biking team. They are a world-class group of riders that pedal worldwide to raise awareness and funds for OA. Yeah, so these two incredible human beings had a pivotal role on my humble journey in starting the Cape Epic and what is to come in the next 9 years of rendering services at the most ultimate and most untamed African mountain biking race. So yeah, stay tuned for the next part where I will get into the next years of what I've been up to at the Cape Epic. Okay, so the only thing left to do is for me to ask you to subscribe to my channel and I will be updated you further on my journey of the next 9 years at the race that measures it all.